Life can feel overwhelming at times, like you're standing in the middle of a storm with no shelter. It has a way of breaking us down, testing our limits, and making us question everything. But here's the thing. What if the very moments when life breaks us are the moments that shape us into something greater than we could ever imagine? What if the pain and struggle we face are actually opportunities in disguise, waiting for us to rise above them and discover our true potential? When life breaks you, it's easy to feel lost, to question your worth, and to wonder if there's any point in continuing the fight. But in those moments, it's crucial to remember that you are not alone. Everyone at some point has faced the depths of struggle, the feelings of being broken, and the thought that maybe success is just a dream for others. Yet, those who stand out are not the ones who avoid being broken. They are the ones who use the breaking as the foundation for building something new. Think of the most successful people in history. Every one of them has faced immense challenges, moments where everything seemed to fall apart. The difference isn't that they were immune to hardship, it's that they saw each obstacle as a stepping stone, each setback as a lesson that would lead them closer to their goals. It's about embracing the adversity, not running from it. The struggle becomes the forge that shapes you, testing your resolve and your character. When life breaks you, it's a signal. It's telling you that something within you needs to change, grow, or evolve. It's not the end. It's a pivot point. Think about how nature works. Trees shed their leaves in the winter, but they don't stop growing. The leaves may fall, but the roots go deeper. The branches reach higher. The same happens when life challenges you. You may lose something along the way, but what you gain is far greater. You'll emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient, capable of handling the next storm with a sense of calm and purpose. Understand that the path to greatness is rarely linear. Success isn't something that comes easily or without struggle. It's the result of countless failures, mistakes, and moments where you feel like giving up. But those who achieve greatness don't stop when they're broken. They see it as part of the process. Every setback becomes fuel for the fire. Every failure, a lesson learned. Every heartbreak, a chance to start fresh. So when life breaks you, don't despair. Instead, use it as a moment of reflection. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And remember, nothing, absolutely nothing is permanent. You may feel broken now, but just like a cracked pot, your cracks can become the places where your light shines through. The pieces that seem lost will eventually come back together in ways you never expected. The road ahead may seem uncertain and the weight may feel unbearable, but don't lose hope. Trust in the process. Trust in your ability to rise again. Because when life breaks you, it's not the end of the story. It's just the beginning of something even greater. Keep moving forward, even when it feels like the world is falling apart. Because in those moments, you're closer than ever to discovering your true strength. And remember, the best is yet to come. Life is full of moments when everything seems to crumble around you. The walls feel like they're closing in, and it feels as though you're being shattered piece by piece. But what if I told you that these moments of breakdown aren't just random occurrences? They are the very moments that shape you into something greater. When life breaks you, it doesn't mean it's the end. It means you are in the process of transformation. Think about the most successful people throughout history, or even the ones around you today. They all have one thing in common. They didn't allow the breaking to define them. They used it. They harnessed the very challenges, disappointments, and failures as tools for growth. In fact, many of the greatest achievements were birthed from moments of deep struggle. The pain you experience is not your enemy. It's your mentor. It's telling you you are on the brink of something bigger. You just have to hold on and keep going. When life breaks you, it's not a signal that you're weak or incapable. It's the universe pushing you to step into a higher version of yourself. Think of the caterpillar that goes into the cocoon. In its most vulnerable state, it's being broken down, reshaped, and transformed. What emerges isn't the same creature that entered. It's something entirely new, stronger, and more capable of flying. That same principle applies to you. The moment you feel most broken could be the very moment you are preparing to take flight. It's in those cracks, those broken pieces, that your true potential begins to emerge. Remember, there is beauty in brokenness. It is the beginning of a new chapter in your life, a turning point where all the lessons, the pain, and the growth finally align. You aren't being punished, you are being prepared. Every time life breaks you, you're being molded into a stronger version of yourself. And though the journey may feel long, the reward that awaits on the other side is worth every ounce of pain you endure. So when life breaks you, remember, it's not the end. It's the beginning of your greatest transformation. Embrace the breakdown. Trust that it's shaping you, refining you, and leading you to a life that is more extraordinary than you ever imagined. When life breaks you, it's easy to feel like you're drowning, like the weight of the world is pressing down on you and there's no way to escape. But what you might not realize in those dark moments is that adversity is your greatest opportunity to build resilience. Struggling, failing, and feeling broken are not signs of weakness. They're signs of strength being forged. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop over time, often through the most difficult experiences. The person you become after overcoming hardship is far more capable and unshakable than the person you were before. It's in those moments when everything seems to fall apart that you find your true strength, the strength you didn't even know you had. Life's challenges are like a test, and the way you face them determines how much stronger you'll be in the future. When you're broken down, you get a chance to rebuild yourself. It's the pressure and adversity that pushes you to dig deeper, to find strength where you thought there was none. Think of the great breakthroughs in history, whether in business, science, or even personal growth. Every single one of them came after a moment of struggle or failure. It's not that successful people are immune to difficulty. On the contrary, it's because they faced those moments head on, learned from them, and never gave up that they were able to achieve greatness. Resilience isn't about never being broken. It's about being broken, learning from it, and then rising again, stronger and more focused. Each time you face a setback, it's like a reset button. You have an opportunity to come back stronger, wiser, and more aware of your own capabilities. The challenges you face become the training ground for your mental, emotional, and even physical strength. Every time you push through a hardship, you build resilience that will carry you through future obstacles. Resilience allows you to keep moving forward when it feels like everything is against you. It teaches you to be patient, to trust in your own abilities, and to know that no matter how difficult things may get, you have the power to overcome them. And remember, the most successful people didn't reach their highest potential by avoiding failure. They learned how to thrive in the face of it, and that's what made them unbreakable. So when life breaks you, don't back down. Stand tall, face it head on, and know that through every challenge, you're building resilience, your secret weapon. Your strength lies not in avoiding breakdowns, but in how you rise from them stronger and more determined than ever. Keep going, because every setback is just a setup for a greater comeback. At some point, we all face moments when we feel utterly broken, as though life is too much to bear. But what often goes unnoticed is that these moments of vulnerability are universal. Everyone you admire, every person you look up to, has had their own share of struggles and hardships. They've all faced brokenness. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they choose to handle it. It's easy to think you're alone in your pain, that no one understands the weight you're carrying. But remember, these feelings of being broken are part of the human experience. We all go through dark times, and yet it's through those times that we discover the truth about our own resilience. The most successful and inspiring people didn't avoid their breakdowns, they embraced them. Instead, they used it as fuel to propel themselves forward. When life breaks you, it's easy to feel like it's the end of your journey. But in reality, it's just the beginning. There is power in understanding that you're not the only one who's been broken. In fact, being broken is often the start of something greater, a process of rebuilding that leads you to a stronger version of yourself. Think of the most beautiful things in life. They aren't flawless. They're shaped by time, experience, and often hardship. You too are being shaped by the very struggles that you face. Every challenge, every breakdown, every failure offers an opportunity to grow. When life breaks you, it's a chance to rebuild, not just who you are, but who you're becoming. It's easy to believe that the world is against you when things fall apart, but the truth is, it's preparing you for something much bigger than you could ever imagine. It's like a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. The masterpiece doesn't appear instantly, but with each strike, a clearer shape emerges. Similarly, your true strength, potential, and purpose come into focus through every challenge you face. This journey of being broken and rebuilding can feel isolating, but remember, you are not alone. Many have walked this path before you, and many will walk it after you. It's not about avoiding pain or breaking, it's about how you use it. You can let it crush you, or you can let it mold you into something better, something stronger. The choice is yours. So when life breaks you, remind yourself that you are part of a bigger shared human experience. This breakdown is not the end. It's an opportunity for you to rise again with more wisdom, strength, and purpose than you had before. Embrace your vulnerability, because it is in that rawness that your true power begins to shine. When life breaks you, it's tempting to believe that your world is crumbling, that all your plans, dreams, and efforts are in vain. But what if I told you that it's in those broken moments, in the depths of struggle, that you find the greatest opportunities to grow? Embracing the struggle isn't about ignoring your pain. It's about understanding that the greatest successes often come after the hardest battles. The key is to not avoid or run from the struggle, but to use it as a powerful tool for your personal evolution. Think about the process of building anything great, whether it's a business, a career, or even a relationship. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's certainly not without its failures. The road to success is filled with setbacks, moments where you feel like giving up, but those who make it aren't the ones who never faced hardships. They are the ones who learned how to harness the power of struggle. When life breaks you, it doesn't mean it's over. It means it's your moment to redefine yourself, to grow stronger, to dig deeper. Struggles often come when we least expect them, when everything seems to be falling into place and suddenly we are knocked off course. In those moments, the instinct is to retreat, to give in to the fear, to let doubt take over. But that's exactly when the magic happens. The struggle forces you to question yourself, to assess your priorities, and to see where you might need to change. It forces you to be honest with yourself about who you are, what you truly want, and what you're willing to fight for. It's in these moments of brokenness that you develop a new sense of clarity. When life tests you, you begin to see what truly matters. The distractions fade, the surface-level goals lose their meaning, and you're left with the core of who you are and what you really want. You'll realize that the struggles you face are not just obstacles, but gifts in disguise. They challenge you, yes, but they also help you discover your true power. The discomfort you feel isn't meant to hold you back. It's meant to force you to evolve into a better version of yourself. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you strengthen the muscles of resilience, patience, and determination. Life will continue to break you at times, but that's only the beginning of the journey. The beauty lies in the fact that no matter how many times you fall, you always have the power to rise again. And each time you rise, you are more capable, more experienced, and more confident. So when life breaks you, don't run away from the struggle. Lean into it. Embrace it as the greatest opportunity for growth and transformation. Understand that every setback is simply the universe preparing you for something greater. Your strength, your success, your happiness, they all come from the lessons you learn in those moments of brokenness. Use your struggles as fuel to move forward, and with each rise, you'll find yourself closer to the life you've always dreamed of. When life breaks you, it often feels like the world is telling you to stop, that you've reached your limit, that you've been knocked down one too many times. But in reality, these moments of breakdown are not the end of the road. They are a signal for change. When everything falls apart, it's because something in your life is no longer serving you, and it's time to evolve, adapt, and transform. Breaking down is not always a failure. Sometimes it's exactly what needs to happen for you to level up in life. It's the universe or life itself urging you to look inward, to reassess your priorities, and to make the changes necessary to align your actions with your true purpose. Just like a tree shedding its leaves in the winter to prepare for new growth in the spring, your breakdown is the beginning of your own personal transformation. The old has to fall away for the new to emerge. In the moment of being broken, it can feel like everything is crumbling and there's no way forward. But think of it as an opportunity to reset, to reframe your thinking, and to reevaluate what truly matters. Perhaps the old ways of doing things aren't working anymore, and your breakdown is a reminder that it's time for a fresh approach. Life is trying to tell you that the path you were on is no longer aligned with who you are becoming. It's not a setback, it's a redirection. Change often comes with discomfort, but that discomfort is a sign that you are growing. When you're forced to adapt, to rebuild, or to learn new skills, you are stepping into a new version of yourself. This process isn't easy, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it is necessary for you to become who you are meant to be. The breakdowns are not barriers, they are stepping stones. Think about how the most groundbreaking innovations in the world were born out of failure. Every great success story is riddled with moments where things seem to be falling apart, but it was in those broken moments that creativity and new ideas were born. The failure became the catalyst for something bigger and better. When life breaks you, it's not a death sentence to your dreams, it's an opportunity to reinvent them, to make them more authentic, more aligned with who you are, and more in tune with the person you are becoming. So the next time life breaks you, don't fear the change, welcome it. Embrace it as a signal that your next chapter is ready to be written. The breakdown is the first step toward a powerful breakthrough. It's in the moments when you feel the most lost that the most profound transformation takes place. When life breaks you, it's not the end, it's the beginning of something even more incredible. When life breaks you, it's easy to feel like the journey is over, like you've reached your lowest point and that everything you've worked for has been shattered. But this isn't the truth. Life breaking you isn't about destruction, it's about opportunity. It's about forging resilient strength and an unwavering sense of purpose that the very fact that you are still breathing, still standing, still fighting, is proof that something greater is being shaped inside of you. Think about the hardest moments you've faced, the moments where you thought you couldn't go on. Those were the times when you were being tested, yes, but they were also the times that pushed you toward your greater potential. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow, to push yourself beyond what you thought were your limits. And in every moment of breaking, you are not falling apart, you are transforming. The pressure that breaks you is the same pressure that turns coal into diamonds. It's natural to feel lost or overwhelmed when life presents its hardest trials. You want answers, you want reassurance, and you want the pain to stop. But those moments aren't always about fixing or overcoming something in an instant. They're about learning, adjusting, and finding new ways to move forward. When life breaks you, it forces you to take a step back, to reevaluate your path, your choices, and your purpose. The answers you seek don't always come immediately, but over time, through perseverance and patience, the way forward becomes clearer. We've all heard the phrase, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." It sounds cliche, but there is profound truth in it. It's the very adversity that can break you, can also teach you more about yourself than any easy path ever could. It's during the tough times that you learn your true strength, that you discover the depths of your resilience, and that you realize just how far you can push yourself. When you're tested and broken down, you find out who you really are, and more importantly, you find out who you can become. Life's breakdowns are not there to tear you down permanently, they are there to mold you. They are the raw materials for your growth. The world may feel heavy, and you may question your ability to keep going, but trust that you are building something invaluable inside of yourself. That strength, that clarity, and that resilience will carry you further than you ever imagined. So when life breaks you, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Don't rush through the pain or try to avoid the lesson. Embrace the process of being rebuilt. Understand that every time you're broken, you're being reshaped into someone better, stronger, and more capable. Life is not over when you're broken. It's simply getting started. Keep moving forward, one step at a time, because your greatest breakthrough often comes after your hardest breakdown. When life breaks you, it often feels like you've lost control, like everything you've worked for has crumbled before your eyes. In those moments, it's easy to get caught up in the pain, to focus solely on what's falling apart. But instead of seeing it as a defeat, shift your perspective. Life breaking you is not a punishment, it's a lesson. It's the universe giving you a chance to rebuild and realign yourself with your true purpose. The beauty of being broken is that it's in those moments of vulnerability that you discover your truest self. Being broken forces you to pause, to stop moving through life on autopilot, and to reflect on what truly matters. Often, when we are thriving, we're so caught up in the hustle that we forget to check in with ourselves. But when life brings you to your knees, you are forced to slow down and take a deeper look at your life. You start to question your values, your goals, and your relationships. This break allows you to reassess what is worth fighting for and what is worth letting go of. It's a powerful reminder that not everything in life is permanent, and not everything is worth carrying with you forever. The brokenness you feel is not a permanent state. It's a chapter in your story, but not the final one. This moment of despair, of feeling lost and shattered, is temporary. It's a passing storm that clears the way for something new and beautiful to emerge. When you feel like you've hit rock bottom, remember, it's from the deepest depths that you can rise the highest. The process of being broken is the catalyst for profound change. You can't move forward in life without breaking free from the old versions of yourself that no longer serve you. When life breaks you, it's like a reset button, allowing you to start fresh, to recalibrate your journey, and move towards something greater than you could have imagined. It's important to realize that you don't have to go through it alone. The moments of pain and heartbreak often lead to a deeper connection with others. The very fact that you are broken makes you more relatable, more compassionate, and more in tune with the struggles of others. You find strength in your vulnerability. You realize that everyone you meet has their own battles, their own moments of breaking. And through those shared experiences, you develop a stronger sense of empathy and understanding. Your own brokenness becomes a bridge, not just for your personal growth, but for connecting with others in a more meaningful way. When life breaks you, it's not the end, it's the beginning of a new journey. You are not defined by the moment of breaking, you are defined by how you rise from it. Remember, the strongest people are not those who never faced hardship. They are the ones who faced the toughest challenges and decided to keep going. They found a way to take their broken pieces and create something beautiful. You, too, have that same strength inside you. So when life breaks you, know that it's not about staying down. It's about getting back up, stronger and more resilient than before. Embrace the lesson, trust the process, and remember that your brokenness is just a stepping stone to becoming the person you were always meant to be. When life breaks you, it's easy to feel as though you've been abandoned, that the world has turned its back on you. It feels as if nothing you do can make things right again. And in that moment of despair, it's crucial to remember that you are not alone in your struggles. Every person you meet, every successful individual you admire has faced moments where life seemed too heavy to bear. The difference lies not in the challenges they face, but in their response to those challenges. In those moments of brokenness, they found the courage to keep going, to rise again, and to transform their lives. The beauty of being broken is that it gives you the chance to rebuild not just your circumstances, but your entire mindset. When life breaks you, it strips away the superficial layers, the things you thought were important, and it forces you to connect with your core, your true essence. What are the things that really matter when everything else fades away? When your job, your goals, your dreams seem out of reach, what remains? Often it's the people you love, the strength within you, and the drive to continue that keeps you moving forward. Life breaking you can serve as a reminder to reconnect with those fundamental aspects of who you are and what you stand for. In the process of being broken, we are often given the opportunity to rethink our priorities and realign our path. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in external pressures and expectations from others, or in the pursuit of success, that we lose sight of what truly fulfills us. Life has a way of redirecting us when we veer too far from our true purpose. The breakdowns come to wake us up, to remind us that it's not about what we do, but about who we become in the process. Life isn't just about achieving, it's about evolving, learning, and growing. When life breaks you, it forces you to evolve into the best version of yourself, even if it's painful. What feels like an unbearable breakdown today might one day be recognized as the catalyst for your transformation. The struggles you face, the heartbreak you endure, the setbacks that seem insurmountable, these are all part of the story that shapes your success. It's not the easy moments that define you, but the ones where you fall and get back up, where you face the darkest times and choose to keep moving forward. It's the resilience you build in these moments that will become the foundation of your future. Life might break you, but it will never break your spirit unless you let it. The next time life breaks you, remember this, the cracks are where the light can enter. The brokenness you experience is the opportunity for growth, for reinvention, for stepping into the person you are meant to be. You don't have to have it all figured out in the moment of pain. In fact, sometimes it's in the midst of that uncertainty that the greatest breakthroughs happen. The broken pieces of your life are the building blocks of your future. Embrace them, learn from them, and let them shape you into the person you are becoming. You are not defined by the moments that break you, but by the strength you gather to rise again. When life breaks you, it's easy to become consumed by your circumstances, to focus on what you've lost or what you can no longer control. It's natural to feel powerless in those moments, as though the world has shifted beneath your feet. But the truth is, being broken isn't a sign of weakness. It's a powerful opportunity for transformation. In those moments of crisis, life is pushing you to rediscover your true strength, to tap into a well of resilience that you may not even realize you have. This breakdown is a catalyst for growth, a necessary step in the journey toward becoming who you were always meant to be. The key is to understand that when life breaks you, it's not the end, it's merely a chapter in your story. Life is constantly evolving, and so are you. In your darkest moments, when everything seems uncertain, you are actually being reshaped. The pain you feel, the disappointment, the heartbreak, it's all part of the process of becoming stronger, wiser, and more attuned to your true purpose. You may not be able to see it in the moment, but the things that seem to break you are the very things that are forging the foundation of your future. When life breaks you, it forces you to let go of things that are no longer serving you, whether they are old beliefs, unhealthy habits, or toxic relationships. This is the painful but necessary process of releasing the past to make room for new growth. Without these breaks, you would continue on a path that doesn't align with your true potential. Life is urging you to move beyond what's familiar, to take risks, and to create a future that's more authentic to who you truly are. The breakdown is not a failure, it's an invitation to step into a new version of yourself, one that's bolder, braver, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. Think about how the most remarkable breakthroughs in history came after periods of great struggle. The most successful people you admire, the greatest innovators, the ones who have changed the world, each of them faced moments when life seemed to break them. But what made them exceptional wasn't their ability to avoid being broken, but their ability to keep going despite it. They allowed their breakdown to become the fuel for their next step, using their pain and their setbacks as the force that propelled them forward. This is the power that lies within you as well. You have the strength to turn your brokenness into a breakthrough. You just need to believe in the process and trust that everything you're going through is leading you to a higher purpose. When life breaks you, the key is to stay grounded and keep moving forward, even when it feels impossible. Don't allow the brokenness to define you. Instead, allow it to refine you. Remember that you are not your failure, your mistakes, or your pain. You are someone who has the ability to rise from the ashes, to rebuild and to evolve into someone stronger, smarter, and more capable than before. Life may break you, but it cannot break your spirit unless you let it. Every time you get up, every time you choose to push through the pain, you are becoming a greater version of yourself. Your story isn't over. The most beautiful chapters are still ahead, waiting for you to write them. When life breaks you, it's easy to feel like you've reached the end of the road, like the weight of the world is too much to bear. But I want you to understand that your breakdown is not the end of your story, it's just a new beginning. In those moments of hardship, pain, and confusion, you are not alone. Everyone at some point faces trials that seem insurmountable. But it's in those moments of being broken that you uncover your greatest strength, your deepest purpose, and the resilience that lies within you. Every challenge, every obstacle, every painful experience you go through is not there to destroy you. It's there to push you to discover who you truly are and what you are capable of. It forces you to shed the parts of you that are no longer useful, to let go of things that hold you back, and to embrace a path that leads to growth and transformation. What feels like a breakdown is often the most essential part of your evolution. It's when life breaks you that you have the opportunity to rebuild, to rise stronger, and to create something more powerful than you ever imagined. So when life breaks you, remember that it is not a sign of defeat, but a sign of strength, a sign of resilience, and a sign that you are on the verge of becoming the person you are truly meant to be. Embrace the pain, the uncertainty, and the struggle. Trust that in the midst of your brokenness, something beautiful is being formed. Your most powerful moments often arise from the hardest challenges. And when you rise from the ashes of your own brokenness, you will be unstoppable because you will have learned the invaluable lesson that no matter how many times life breaks you, you always have the strength to rise again.